With Roger Bloodowrth after the fight, everybody was hearing you saying to Tomek in the first rounds, throw the punches, try to get him earlier. Let's start with this question: is how tough was to watch this fight from the corner as a trainer?
It wasn't tough to watch. You know, that's my job. I don't get involved. I try to read the fight, see what's going on. I got about 40 seconds to tell him between rounds what to do. I thought Steve came out in the first 2 rounds and he looked pretty good, very flashy. Thomas kind of started waiting on him a little bit, and I kept telling Thomas, I said, look, you got to land your jab and then land your combinations behind it. You can't stand and look at him because you're in his hometown. He can still fight. And then Thomas started landing some body shots and some heavier shots. I think around the 5th or 6th round. I really don't remember what rounds. And he just kind of put the earmuffs on, and he kind of quit throwing punches. But he was moving good, and he was looking good. So it came down to, I told them, they asked me if I thought you needed a knockout. I told them, I said, I don't know. I said, I think it depends on what the judges are watching. If they're watching flashy, pretty movement, that'll be one decision. If they're watching effective punching, that'll be another decision, because Thompson definitely landed the effective punches. And Cunningham did a great job of moving, you know. And you and I had the conversation. You were talking about his chin. I told you part of the problem with his chin, he was too light.
Exactly. I remember when you said it, and this was actually my question.
The other thing, too, is he fought a very different fight this time. I mean, he has a very good trainer. Nassim Richards is a great trainer, and he had him fight the only fight he could fight. If he would have went toe-to-toe with Thomas, it would have been over. But Nassim was a very smart man, and he had him moving and doing things that made him look effective, but weren't necessarily effective. But again, it's like, you know, what are the judges watching? But I think, you know, Thomas did a good job. That was his 4th fight this year. He needs a little bit of rest. But when you can come in to a guy's hometown and fight a fight like that and come out the winner, you've done a good job. And the thing I said before the fight is, you know, being back on network TV was great. There were no losers in this fight. I said that before the fight because the fans would get a good look at Thomas. They get a good look at Cunningham, and so I don't think there were any losers. The fans saw a great fight. They saw 2 guys who were willing to fight, and we need more of it.
This is exactly the feeling of everybody who was watching this fight. Very rarely happens. Nobody is a loser in the fight. In this fight, it was exactly what happened.
Yeah, I thought it was, you know, it was a great example of what the sport is, you know, or what it should be. Guys should be willing to step in and fight other guys that are good. You know, we got too many people ducking each other left and right, and you know, so we need this. I thought it was a great fight for the fans.
Would you agree with assessment of Kati Duva? And she said, I asked her if with this fight Steve Cunningham proved to everybody he belongs into the heavyweight division. She said even more, that maybe he's even a top 10 heavyweight fighter. You know heavyweight division very, very well. If you can assess how good Steve Cunningham today versus Tomek Adamek was.
Well, you have to remember, John, he brought his A game.
Yeah, no question.
We knew he was going to bring his A game for one reason. He's fighting at home. 2, he wanted to avenge the loss. It's very hard to take a loss in front of your home crowd when it's a split decision. I feel for him because it was a great fight. He fought a great fight. But so, you know, he brought his A game. What we have to see is what he does when he moves up with guys. You know, some styles make great fights.
True, and those guys can fight 20 fights. Probably everyone will look the same.
Yeah, everybody. One might be a split decision, but now you put him with a guy that's got a different style. Maybe a little bigger, maybe a little younger, maybe whatever. It might be a different. So I think it's a little too soon to say he's a top 10 fighter. I think he needs to fight some more top 10 fighters. But I think he definitely belongs in the heavyweight division. I think he's exciting, and you know, I wish him all the luck in the world.